Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is general or collective, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right. I think I have it set up good here now. All right, the first card out from the tarot. I did a quick meditation beforehand just to speed my readings up a little bit. And this is talking about, from the tarot came the Magician. The Magician is talking about an energetic upgrade. We have 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond as well. This is talking about bringing your thoughts from above to below to make a beautiful garden on earth and add to the beauty of it. We have all the tools that we need. We just have to learn how to use them and which tool is most efficient for which job. Also, the Magician is wearing an Ouroboros around his waist, and the Ouroboros is a snake that is biting its tail. And it is talking about letting go and releasing that which no longer serves you so that you can move towards that which does. Now, one thing you may have noticed if you do have a garden is that if you leave the tools laying around and you don't use them yourself, they don't get up and do the work for you. So it's the same with this case. We do have the sun here. This is from my oracle, Tales from the Vector. This is actually, the sun energy represents God's energy. This is when I was in Peru in ceremony, this was one of the visions that I had when I was with the shamans. And this was talking about a solar flare on the sun in ceremony, the way I saw it in my vision. And this is from the Oracle Tales from the Vector, and it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I do have a beautiful sunstone crystal here. This is from India, and sunstone is really good energy for dispelling fear and instilling more confidence, as well as attracting prosperity. So that's the energy we're looking for in this reading. It looks like we're off to a great start. All right, we do have this energy here of the Knight of Cups, a new cup of love coming in. This is like the knight in shining armor, dressed to the nines and offering a cup of love. Usually when the Knight of Cups comes in, is talking about romantic love. But the cups in tarot don't have to be about romance. They can be about something, any kind of love for anyone and or anything, as well as something you love to do or something you love to be. So we will see. It looks like it could be romantic love, though, for those that are looking for that. We have the moon coming in. So I feel the moon's coming in because we just had a new moon on the 14th, and as I'm doing this reading now, it is the 17th. So we're just sort of on the tail end of that energy. And this is talking about the moon. It is talking about hidden illusions and secrets coming in. And we have a lobster here who's in the emotional water, and he wants to stay on his path of glory. This energy is talking about moving forward. But here's this dog and this wolf howling at the moon, and he's like, how am I going to get past them, stay in between these two pillars? He doesn't want to go around the long way because he doesn't want to be distracted from his mission here. And so this is talking about he's gathering the courage to be vulnerable enough to go by here and get through the two of them, and hopefully they won't notice him. The dog represents your domestic side, and so it could be talking about you might be isolating or staying home a lot right now, and maybe it's time to get out more. Or it can be talking, maybe you're a wild child and you're out partying and it's time to come home and see if you have any mail. So it's talking about that balance between the two. And this can, at the new moon, it's about new energy coming in and moving, like making plans to move forward. It's a great time to do so. And we also have an eclipse here. We have the sun, the full moon, and the new moon. So this is talking, I feel this card has been talking about the eclipse energy we went through on February 17th and March 3rd. That energy is wrapping up now. It lasts about 6 months. So, you know, take a look back at what was going on around that time, you know, mid-February to the beginning of March. And it may give you some sort of idea of what's going on here. Back then, I was advising people to just write down like 10 things in a point form that they would like to accomplish. Oh, sorry. If you're hearing that weird noise, that's my cat, and she's purring into the mic there. Are you a happy little kitty? All right. And so this is talking about, now where was I? Oh, the eclipse energy. So yeah, you might want to check back to then, or if you did, if we're listening back then and you did write them down, check now. Take a look at what, you know, if you've forgotten about it, what you journaled there, what you said you wanted to accomplish. You may be really surprised. I had written down 10 things that I wanted to accomplish, and I do have 8 totally completed. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even notice. I forgot that I even said that I was going to do it, and I did it anyway. And so it's that type of energy. You might be pleasantly surprised, and it might also give you an idea of where this energy is headed for you in this reading. There is going to be another eclipse season coming up mid-August, so about a month from now. And I'll look into that after. So we do have this energy here of the Four of Swords as well. And this is talking about the element of air, your thoughts. And the swords represent mental intelligence, discipline of the mind. And it's talking about putting the mind to rest so that you can feel with your intuition what your heart really wants. Perhaps maybe someone has come in with a love offer for you, or it could even be like just a really good opportunity of something you love to do. And you're trying to decide, like, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? You know, is this for real? Is this like, maybe it's a real excellent opportunity and you're wondering, is it too good to be true? Or is this possible for me to do this? That type of thing. And so this is talking about going and asking God for guidance, assistance here through prayer and meditation. And this is putting your mind to rest so that you can feel with your heart. What are your authentic desires? What do you really want? We have the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the conscious mind. Boom, boom, boom. Hang the mind on the wall and feel. On this stained glass window is the word PAX, P-A-X, and that is peace, peace of mind. If you have peace of mind and quiet the mind down, then you can feel with your heart and your intuition where your authentic desires are headed. This is representing possibly you've been really busy and very focused on making money. The pentacle energy represents health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. Now, money is a very big part of that, and that's why the pentacles are shown by coins. This is also the element of earth. So it's about matters of the earth and physical matter on the earth. And this is talking, but it's more than just that. I mean, you could have all the money in the world, but if you it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is talking about being very focused on the money part of the pentacle energy. This person is actually pounding out a coin. That's the only card in the deck, very focused. This could be you've already completed 6 and you're on the 7th and you only have 1 to go. Or maybe because this is a new moon and this is new energy, you were inspired to start this project, that this energetic upgrade that's coming your way. And the sun is shining on it. When the sun shows up in a reading, it's talking about, this is the happiest card in the deck, and it's saying that the truth is coming out. Everything that you, you know, like it's sending happiness through the whole reading here. And then we have the Hierophant energy. So this could be saying that there is some sort of truth that you want to come out, that you're looking for justice in some sort of matter. The Hierophant is talking about traditional structure. And basically, justice comes from the spiritual realm, and then it comes down to the physical. So the Hierophant is responsible for bringing that justice down from the divine. And then, this can represent like religious energy, like traditional structures of your church and your religion. So this could be like Pope, Cardinal, Bishop, Guru, Rabbi, that sort of thing. And if you're more like on the spiritual side and you don't deal with an intermediary, and you like to meditate and pray, that straight to the divine yourself, that is also that energy, but then it's coming down into the traditional structures of the court system. So that's how justice always begins on the spiritual level. You can consider it spiritual court, and then comes down to the physical. We have strength and courage here. So the strength card is talking about really being, wanting to really take a good look at yourself and really define for yourself where you want to go. You maybe have, this is saying that you might have some fears that were left over from childhood that are holding you back. That's what this stone is for also, is to allay fears. And so this is talking about this young woman is reaching deep into this mature adult lion's mouth, and it's a male lion, and it's like letting her do so, because it can tell she's very determined to dig deep within herself and look at her fears. So it takes a lot of courage and strength to face your shadow side, but it allows you to acquire infinite potential, and that's what the magician energy is about as well. So if you face your fears, and you really look at, okay, what can I do to improve myself? What could I do differently? How should I proceed? And you give it thought, it can really go a long way in benefiting you. You may have been feeling like you've been carrying a real heavy load lately. So the wands represent the element of fire, and they are made of wood. Wood fuels fire. So this is talking about passionate action. And this is someone bringing in their harvest. So the wands are like the seeds that you planted through actions that you've taken, and 10 is the most you can have. Now, ideally, this would be like 10 wands that are heavily laden with the fruit of your labor, and you just have a huge harvest coming in. But quite often there could be some wands here that don't really belong to you. You might be carrying burdens from the past or from other people, and like the Ouroboros on the magician's waist here, it might be time to let some shift go. And especially if you're carrying burdens for other people, it's time to let it go. Allow yourself to just be free yourself from that. This person is like really laden down, and it's talking about he doesn't even know if he's going to make it home at this point. If you've ever heard the saying, can't see the forest for the trees, that's talking about this energy where you're so wrapped up in the details that you can't even see the big picture anymore. He doesn't even realize how close he is to his home. He thinks he's further than he is, and he almost feels like giving up. He just can't make it. It's too much. I can't keep going. And but he's so close to his home, and many times people will give up right before they're about to be successful. So this card is saying keep going. Lay down the burdens that do not belong to you. It's really important, especially if justice is coming in, because if you're carrying burdens from other people, then when justice comes in, you're carrying the burden for them instead of getting the reward. And so it's really important that you look after yourself right now. This is too heavy for you, and you're not meant to carry other people's weight like that. So this is talking about, and it also can talk about that maybe there's other ways that you could do things, that you could delegate some of the weight here. Maybe, like for instance, let's say you purchased a home. This is an example that I've been giving here. And maybe you bought it 5 years ago, and you got it for a good price. It's an asset. You've been happy living there, but now your circumstances are changing and you're wanting to move on to something new, and you need to sell the house. But you're thinking, man, it needs to be painted and there needs to be a bit of work done here and there. And then I got to find a realtor and I've got to make sure it's clean, and then I got to pack, and and it's on top of everything else. It's just too much. And this is when you need to delegate, like find a really good realtor. Usually they know the people in the trades that are really good. Get them to, hire a painter, get them to stage the house, and then you could spend your time packing and doing that more. It's not like that's a burden so much, but it's become burdensome, even though it's an asset, because it's more work for you to do. So lay down the burdens that don't belong to you and delegate what you can to others. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. You might be saying, I can't afford to right now. I have to do the work myself. And that might be part of the issue. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is known to be very resourceful. She's one of the 4 queens in the minor arcana. And she's holding this pentacle here. She is known for being very resourceful, and she can make something out of nothing. She prefers quality to quantity. This is like old money, so she doesn't need to impress anyone with her money, have all the, the designer this or that. She just, she understands money from way back. I have been asking lately, because I have a lot of people in the collective that have been saying that they missed out on an inheritance or some sort of windfall. It was taken from them. And so I've been asking the question, why is the Queen of Pentacles having to be so resourceful? I mean, it's good that she can be, but we want to know, why is she being so resourceful? And is the justice going to come in? And this is saying it's a happy, energetic upgrade. So let's see if we can find some answers for the Queen of Pentacles here. I still say that, like, if you're, like, let's say in the case of selling your home, you could delegate some of the responsibility. And you may find that that would be better for you. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is saying maybe you've been hard at work to make money to move forward so that you can, move out of this energy. And this is really good energy that the Three of Pentacles is representing, that you're in an elevated position. You're standing on the bench, and there's a spotlight on all the beautiful stonework that you've done here in this, for an example. These people are approaching you because they've heard what good work you do, and they've come to see it, and they have plans in place, and they want you to come work for them. Now, this card is really great news that this is happening, and it can sometimes mean also, like, quite often this card is representing that you have a skill set, like in the arts, anyone can do stonework, but can they do it well? Anyone can sing or act, but would people pay them to, by the millions, to come and see them? And so this is talking that this could be the energy of, like maybe you're an actor, an actress, and you're being asked to come on Broadway or the lead role, or you are a brilliant musician and you maybe are in a band, and their producers want to produce your music and they want to put you on tour. It could represent you're a really talented athlete, and these are scouts wanting to give you a scholarship to colleges and universities. And better yet, maybe you're already at the college or university, and now they're wanting you to come be on the pro team. So this is really good energy, but it does come with a warning. The warning is to make sure that if you sign any contracts or agreements, that you make sure that they are in alignment with the lifestyle that you want to live. Many of those industries are you know, run by secret societies, or they have their own rituals and rules, and we're seeing that being played out in big time with the files that came out. And you know, you're looking up to all these, like, these actors and these musicians, and they're famous, and they're attractive, and they have a lot of money, and they travel, and they have beautiful clothes, and they're so talented. Like, you know, all these people want to, you know, are willing to pay to come see them, but they're not happy, and it's because of this energy of the, you know, the industry itself. It has a tendency to be that way. People quite often get breadcrumbed, and other people are making more money than they are, and they're having to live a lifestyle that they signed up for, and they didn't read the fine print. So this is saying, make sure that you read the fine print, and before you sign any contracts or agreements. If you're in a position like this, hire a lawyer. It's really important. Someone who understands these contracts and specializes in them, to make sure that you're making strong choices in alignment with how you want to live your life. And then we have, look at this, the Ten of Pentacles comes in. So yeah, if you make a good, strong decision here and you're moving forward now, Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate lifestyle. It's the most you can have. This is like hitting the golden buzzer. You went to the competition and they press the golden buzzer and you've won. You know, you can skip a bunch of steps. It's like in Monopoly where you can pass go. And so this is talking about this energy of living a beautiful lifestyle, and the ultimate lifestyle in a perfectly imperfect world. Quite often this can talk about a windfall that comes in that's unexpected. It could be like an investment that you have that paid well, or maybe you find someone, and it happens, where someone sees your house and they're saying, I don't care, I don't want you to do any work to it, I love it the way it is, and I'm willing to pay this much money for it, and it's more than the asking price. So shift like that does happen. And so this is that kind of energy. It's like a windfall, like winning, you know, having something unexpected happen, an investment pay off way more, you know, something really beautiful coming into your life, that type of energy. So this is really, I'm liking this reading. And look at, we have the sun again. And this is like God saying, you deserve it. You've been working really hard, and you've been staying on your path, and you've been doing your best to be the best version you can be of yourself. It's time for you to be happy. This is saying that you are a child of God, and the sunflowers here, their heads turn to the sun to absorb the rays and have all that beautiful sunshine and happiness and the truth coming out and shining on you. This is you as a child of God. Riding this pony, totally fearless, no reins, no saddle, and look at carrying this heavy banner. This represents your destiny and just carrying it with ease. So this is saying you're meant to be happy, you're meant to have this beautiful lifestyle. And wow, like this is a really good energy. And then this is talking about, this card can be talking about money that went missing. Now, this person is standing here and he's looking at this Six of Pentacles, and he's thinking like, man, normally you know, he only got one pentacle out of all the time, money, and energy he invested in this, and he's used to being way more successful than that. And he's trying to figure out, what the heck, what happened, you know? And I don't know, like, what can I change? What can I do differently? It's this energy of being caught up in this energy. Now, there could be a few scenarios here that would say that there could have been hidden illusions and secrets in this agreement, and you missed it. And maybe that's why you're missing the money. And that, you know, you were stuck in this burdensome energy, and now it's shifting out of it. Sometimes this energy can actually talk about making money illegally, like counterfeit, money laundering, identity theft and forgery and stuff, missing money. But I feel like in this particular reading, we do have the Hierophant here, so we have to consider that that might be, you would know if that's what you're going through. And it could have stopped you from doing something that you really love to do because of that. But then we see here how things are moving forward, but we come back to this energy. Sometimes this card has been coming up lately that you were super successful, and that this all was really, really like it was a happy thing for you. But at one point, like, you know, it's almost saying like, I only invested this one pentacle and I got 6 out of it. And in the past, that would have been having you jumping up and down and saying, hooray, you know, I did it, and you liked the challenge, and it was like, woohoo. And but you're saying, look, I had all this success here, but it's falling flat for me. It's not what I want anymore. I want to do something different. I want to do what I really want to do now, you know. I've done this for a while. I thought it's what I want, but now maybe something else is calling out to you, and maybe it's a little bit different. And it's, you know, and this energy could also be talking about having worked very hard at, maybe you always wanted to go and be a singer and give it a go, you know, but everybody convinced you you have to do things the right way. And so you gave up on your dreams kind of to maybe become a, you know, like a whatever it was that was socially acceptable. And then this is the energy of you deciding to move forward and do that. So it can go, you'll know for yourself if which way this reading is for you. It could be something simple that you've put all this energy into your lifestyle and making the money and being successful and all of that. And you don't have someone that you really love in your life to share it with. So it could be different for everybody. But what's important here is it's saying that you deserve to live a happy lifestyle. You deserve to have this windfall. You deserve to, you've been a good person. You deserve this energetic upgrade. And we do have a King of Swords here. So if there was anything that went missing that you were supposed to have, I feel that's saying it's coming back. This could be an authority figure that you've hired maybe as a lawyer to make sure that any contract is, you know, and it could even be that you've had to hire a lawyer because you didn't get what you were promised here. And so this is an authority figure. And it's talking about, you know, the King of Swords represents someone that is educated and uses their words, their mental intelligence, discipline of the mind to be able to earn their living. Like, this is not someone that would be doing physical labor. And it's quite often this can represent politicians. You know, we have a king here. It could be a president, a prime minister. It would be someone high up. So someone in that makes laws and whatever. So maybe you've had to go a route, or maybe it's taken you on a route like this, where you're dealing with politicians, congressmen, Senate, making new laws, whatever this is that's happening. And maybe that's what you want to do. You know, it could, so I'm reading this both ways. You will know if which way it is for you, but it's coming kind of half and half for me. And especially because this is such beautiful energy. If there was like a lot of dark cards here, I would say, oh, it's a certain way, but this is talking about true happiness, fulfillment, and, you know, after having some hardship, but like having worked through it. And so this could be maybe you turn into someone that stands up for people, you know, in this energy. And maybe you were so impressive that now you are going to be the president of your country, or the prime minister, or whatever. You've done so well. And so this can be also talking about legalities. So this can represent judges and, you know, the prosecutors and the judicial system. If this is a lawyer, this most likely is a lawyer that is in, you know, a partner in a well-recognized firm. This also, maybe you've always wanted to write a book. This could represent a best-selling author on the New York Times best-selling list. You could be a researcher that maybe found a cure for a serious disease, or an engineer that has invented something that is going to really benefit you know, humanity. This could represent the energy of surgeons, dentists, psychiatrist, veterinarian energy. So, and it could go either way, whatever your scenario is at this time. In any case, it's saying that whatever needs to be done here, that the sun is shining on it. That don't concern yourself. Do what you need to do to get where you need to go or where you want to be. But it's going to work out. And look at this, we have a Queen of Wands energy here. So this could be talking about someone that, maybe the King of Swords is interested in the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands. And this energy, we have two queens here. We have a Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and we have a King of Swords here energy. So this is sitting right on the sun. This could be the same energy. This could be talking about, this is how you naturally are. The Queen of Wands is pretty carefree. She follows her happiness. She follows the sun. The sunflowers, like you can see here, she has a sunflower in her hand, saying that, she's representing the happiness here. She's on her destined path. Maybe when you were the queen, you were in the Queen of Pentacles energy, and the lawyer that you hired ends up being like the lover that offers you a cup of love after. Could be that energy. And now you're in your natural, sunny, happy energy, and all of this beautiful energy is coming in. The Queen of Wands uses her intuition as well as her logic. That veil behind her represents the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical, the intuitive and the logical. And so she comes to creative solutions, and she pretty much follows her happiness. So she's, she represents a very easygoing energy, a happy energy. And this could be saying you no longer now are in this energy where you have to be resourceful. Now that is an awesome outcome for our Queen of Pentacles that we want to put towards everybody. Sometimes the queens, when there's more than one coming up, it can be the same person in different energies, as well as with the kings here. So perhaps this is someone that, you are, that is bringing in a cup of love here. And then we have, at the top, we have this standing on the precipice of change. Now sometimes this card, this person is standing on the precipice of change and looking into the distant horizon. The sun is shining on the water here. And this sometimes can represent someone leaving a relationship. But in this case, I feel it's talking about, with the sun shining on the water and the ship sailing by, going on an adventure with someone and walking through the portal of being a couple and going out together to do something together. And maybe this is like a divine couple blessed by the Most High. And so all of this energy that got you there was meant to get you here. I like that energy. This is a really beautiful reading. We have the Knight of Cups coming in. We have you being very talented and actually getting the right advice so that you, it's a happy outcome for you. A real beneficial, living the lifestyle you want. And then we have this energy here of the Queen of Wands, being in your natural happy state, and possibly this is the cup of love between the two of you, and this is going off together on an adventure, just like in the romance novels. They always have the knight in shining armor comes and rescues the damsel in distress, and then they ride off into the sunset. But we never find out what happens after. So here it's saying that, maybe what was so important to you here isn't anymore, and maybe you're more focused on just being together with someone that you love and having enough, like there's definitely enough pentacles between you to enjoy your lifestyle. And this is about having done the work so that you can, like if you do your inner work and you let go of the fears you have of failure, and remember the sunstone energy here, this crystal, is talking about having, dispelling fear instilling confidence and attracting prosperity. So thank you, little sunstone, you've done your job. And this is the Hierophant. This can represent, this justice is just coming in because it's meant to be. This is a beautiful reading. It's a welcome reading here. I'm going to clarify it with my oracle cards. And the numbers on these cards are the paintings from the oracle. It's Tales from the Vector, and courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. There's 64 paintings. I completed all of them. I started in 2007 and in 2020 completed them all. I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and in the gallery, these are how the cards are numbered. We've already talked about this energy here. This is talking about going a karmic space that people can fall into, where you don't go for your authentic desires, because instead you do what you feel you're supposed to do. And that's okay, because it pays off in the end. You do what you have to sometimes if you want to survive on planet Earth. But this is about giving yourself total permission to go after your true heartfelt goals here, rather than what society tells you you have to do or be to be successful. And so this is, otherwise life is anticlimactic, and I feel like that's this energy. And it's been really interesting because this card has been coming up quite a bit in the readings in that direction instead of the other one, of just realizing, you know what, this was fun for a while, but now I'm ready for different. And this is about being a real powerful manifester, and it's about manifesting from the sacral chakra. And I do feel like this is also talking about, this can be talking about the energy of maybe wanting to start a family. And then we have the guiding star. So this is talking about using, when you're on your destined path, you're following your north node, your north star energy. That's the guiding star that's using your intuition as well as your logic to manifest what you want. Dissemination of information on here. There's an elephant in the room. What elephant? This is believing in your own press. Now, sometimes, like, dissemination of information is when people are talking in a way that you can't understand, but sometimes like different occupations have different ways of speaking, like different languages. Like there's medical language, and there's legalese, and there's someone who's an inventor or working with math has the language of math. Scientists have that, their language. So it can be talking about that type of dissemination. And it also can be talking when people say they want to motivate someone, they'll quite often say, you need to believe in yourself. But sometimes, most of the time, most of us do have limiting beliefs about what we are capable of achieving. And this could be saying that, don't believe in yourself, because you might be telling yourself that you're not good enough. So if there's an elephant in the room, we want to see it, and then maybe that's when you go after your fears and you go for what you really want instead. And we have the need to be right. Yeah, sometimes we need to be right, but sometimes we need to just be happy. Do you have to be right, or do you want to be happy? So it's talking about not making mountains out of molehills and not making molehills out of mountains. There is times where you need to be right, but there's times where it's just better off. Like, why argue with someone if you don't really care? You don't have to be right about everything, and you don't have to beat yourself up if you weren't right about everything. If you're going out of your way to be the best version of you, you're quite likely going to make some mistakes. When there's some people out there that they never fail at anything they do, it means they're not pushing themselves to their top potential. Because when you push yourself to your top potential, you're going to make mistakes, because that's part of the learning process when you're pushing yourself to get ahead further. We have the battle star energy, so this is having that courage again to tackle that and then go after what you really truly do want in life. And then we have, life's a slice, hold the drama. Isn't that the truth? Who needs, a lot of times, People confuse excitement with anxiety. And especially if you've been raised in a family where in your childhood, and sometimes that comes up here, in your childhood where you were raised in a family where there was a lot of arguing, or, you know, that not the most easy energy to get along with, that sometimes can cause people to feel like it's weird if there isn't any drama. Like what, like is that boring, or is that just calm? And so a lot of people that experience a lot of trauma when they're younger, or a lot of, you know, a real busy lifestyle, you know, then when it's quiet, they're kind of like lost. Like, you know, is this, you know, like, is this boring, or is this just calm? And it's probably just calm. And the feelings in the body for anxiety and excitement are so similar. So that's the thing. A lot of people can mistake them. And then we have letting go of any anger. Anger is the gift that keeps on giving, and it's really wild because that can be passed down from one generation to the next. And so sometimes we grow up and our parents, maybe our great-grandparents, were pissed off at someone for something, and then they raised angry children, grandparents, and then those angry grandparents raised angry parents, and then those parents raised you, and you're like, you know what? I'm not into being angry. I don't even know who great-grandpa was. I never met him, and I'm not angry, and I'm not going to be. So you can choose not, you know, there's a time for righteous anger. There's no doubt about that. But staying in acidic anger, sometimes people motivate themselves with anger rather than with, you know, like the manifesting it in a more pleasant way. And you can motivate yourself with anger, but eventually it's going to become acidic and really wear you out. And we have the high priestess energy. So this is saying when you use your intuition as well as your logic, the high priestess is sitting next to God on the throne, and she's known for being able to manifest at a very high level. And she's joyful. Well, she's hanging out with God. Like, look at, we have the sun here twice, and that energy is sitting right here on the sun, having the courage, you know, to go after the life you want and be using your intuition, using your logic as well, and going for what your authentic desires are, not what other people think you should be, or, you know, what you've been told you should be. We have Libra at the top. So this is talking about, this Libra energy is talking about being mature enough to get into a committed relationship. So this might be something new for you with this this energy here, or maybe you've done it in the past and it failed, and but you were too afraid to ever open your heart up to love again, and now you're saying, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to open my heart up to love. And this is Libra, is when people are mature enough to actually make a strong commitment like that to something. Like a lot of times people, when they get married, they aren't mature enough, or, you know, start a family to really understand, you know, what's required, or haven't really had enough life experience to do it differently from their parents, and maybe there was a lot of arguing or anger. So this is talking about you can anticipate a strong outcome instead of having expectations of how things should be. And this is talking about this relationship, I feel, is going to be, you know, you're mature enough to make it work. Really, really beautiful energy. Thank you, God, for this beautiful energy. We could all use a good reading like this, that's for sure. I just want to point out that when horoscope signs come up in my readings, I'm not talking about specific people. So I'm not saying it has to be a Libra that you meet or anything. This is about the energy, the quality of the sign. Every sign has strengths and weaknesses, and we can learn from them. And if you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice you have them all in there somewhere. So we can all learn from each other. And you know, each sign, this is justice, and I feel that that's what this justice is. It's just, you know what they say, the best revenge is living well. And I feel like that's the energy that this beautiful reading is saying, live well. You were meant to. You're a child of God, and you were meant to be happy. I love it. All right. And that's the one gift that human beings have that is very special, is God gives us choice, and a beautiful thing. So I do hope you've enjoyed this reading as much as me. It's been a real breath of fresh air for me. And I want to thank you for your time and energy, likes, comments, and shares, subscribes. I really do appreciate them all. And I will be back with another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.